reset program I'd ever tried had quietly failed me. A 7-minute nervous system reset, for people who'd rather read the whole story than watch it? See what's inside rightward arrow. I need to start by being honest with you. You're reading this because something isn't working. You've tried the programs. You've done the work. You've shown up, over and over, and you still feel stuck in the exact same place. I know that feeling because I lived inside it for longer than I want to admit. My name is Caleb Hayes. I'm from the Midwest, just a regular guy who built a decent life on paper. I had the job. I had the family. I had the house. And somehow, underneath all of it, I was emptier than I had ever been in my life. It was a Tuesday night, driving home from my daughter's soccer game. I was on a work call in the car, half present, the way I always was. She looked at me from the passenger seat and said 4 words I still can't fully explain the weight of. "Dad, you're here, but you're not here." That sentence didn't just sting. It cracked something open in me that no vision board, no gratitude journal, no affirmation script had ever come close to touching. I realized in that moment that all the productivity, all the hustle, all the goals I was chasing meant nothing if the people who mattered most couldn't actually feel me. That conversation sent me down a path most people never take, because it requires looking directly at what's broken instead of managing around it. The real problem: you are not broken. You're running on programming nobody ever taught you how to change. Here's what the self-help industry isn't going to say out loud, because it isn't good for business. They taught you how to think better, how to visualize differently, how to affirm yourself into a new reality. If that had genuinely worked for you, all the way through, you probably wouldn't still be here reading this. The reason it didn't work is simple. You were trying to overlay new thinking on top of old patterns that don't shift just because your conscious mind decides they should. You were trying to install prosperity thinking on top of habits and beliefs still quietly running on scarcity, safety, and survival underneath. Think of it like a computer. You install brand new software, beautiful, powerful, supposed to transform everything, but the hard drive underneath is corrupted. There are files running in the background the new software can't even see, let alone override. No matter how good the software is, it cannot overcome what's already embedded in the system. That's what had been happening to me. It's probably what's been happening to you, not because you're broken, but because you were trying to solve a root-level pattern with a surface-level tool. The turning point. The parking lot, 11 p.m., and the question I couldn't answer anymore. About a year ago I hit one of the lowest points of my life, not because anything on the outside had collapsed. From the outside, everything still looked fine. But I was sitting in my car in a parking lot at 11 o'clock at night, trying to figure out how I'd become so disconnected from myself that I didn't recognize the person staring back at me in the rearview mirror. I'd been running so hard for so long that I couldn't remember what I was running from anymore. Success didn't fix it. Money didn't fix it. My daughter's 4 words had cracked something open, and I couldn't seal it back up. That night, I made a decision: find the actual root of this. Not the symptom. Not another surface-level technique. The thing underneath everything that was keeping me trapped in the same loop. So I started digging into research that contradicts almost everything the mainstream self-help world teaches. What I found: your heart and brain are talking to each other. Researchers have spent years exploring nervous system regulation and something called heart coherence, the way your heart and brain work together in ways scientists are still working to fully understand. Many relaxation practices point to the same simple idea: paying attention to your breathing and your heartbeat is one of the more accessible ways to move your body toward a calmer, more focused state. Rhythmic pace to a natural resting heartbeat. 7 daily practice, no equipment. 60 days to try it, or a full refund. Your response to stress can affect how you feel and how easily you're able to relax. That layer underneath the thinking, underneath the affirmations was quietly shaping how people responded to me, which opportunities one was even able to notice, and my own decision-making and emotional state, moment to moment. Here's where it gets interesting. Almost all the manifestation and mindset work I'd ever done, gratitude journals, vision boards, affirmations, was aimed squarely at my conscious mind, my brain. But my nervous system never seemed to care very much about what my conscious mind had decided to believe. Many people find that calming sounds, mindful breathing, and a consistent relaxation practice help them unwind and become more present in a way that thinking alone doesn't. So if you're carrying a pattern of scarcity and survival underneath everything, you can affirm abundance all day long and the rest of you simply won't follow. You'll feel the disconnect. You'll feel like you're faking it. You're working against your own system, not with it. What I discovered, for me, is that lasting change wasn't about piling on more positive thinking. It was about building a consistent practice that helped me slow down, relax, and approach life with a bit more clarity. That turns out to be simpler than you'd expect, but it's a genuinely different approach. The method. How I turned this into something you can actually use. Once I found this, I became a little obsessed. I studied everything I could find on frequency work, heart coherence, and how the nervous system responds to rhythm and language paired together. Then I started experimenting on myself. I took what I was finding and tried to make it simple and practical, nothing that required waking up at 4 in the morning, or sitting in meditation for an hour, or doing anything that felt unnatural. Many people find that pairing calming audio with a steady, guiding voice creates a more immersive and relaxing listening experience than words alone. So I started creating short audio sessions built on that idea, nothing fancy, just my voice, a rhythm matched to a normal resting heartbeat, and calm, steady language. The sessions are designed to support a peaceful listening experience without affirmations or guided visualization. The first time I used it, nothing dramatic happened. I just slept deeper than I had in months, and felt a little calmer the next morning. I kept using it. Over time, something shifted. It wasn't like I suddenly woke up rich and all my problems disappeared. That's not what this does. What I noticed is that my daughter could feel me differently within a few weeks, and I found it easier to stay present, not because I was working harder at presence, but because I wasn't carrying that constant low hum of anxiety underneath everything. Over the next couple of months I started noticing changes in how I approached my work too, because I was meeting the same opportunities from a different place. Within 6 months, a lot had changed. None of it felt forced. It felt like the world was just responding differently. I called it the frequency shift protocol. I want to be completely clear about what this is not. This isn't magic. It isn't going to make you a millionaire overnight. It isn't going to solve every problem in your life the moment you press play. The goal is simpler than that, to help you step away from everyday stress for a few minutes, and create space to relax, reflect, and move through your day with a little more clarity. Their words. Real stories from people who actually pressed play. I was competent at my job, making decent money, and every single morning I woke up with a sense of dread I couldn't explain. I'd spent a lot on therapy and coaching trying to figure out why I was so unhappy when everything looked fine on paper. Within 3 weeks of using the protocol, the dread was smaller. By the second month I realized I actually had options. The important part was that I could feel myself again. Sophie. I'd been in recovery for 3 years, doing everything I was supposed to do, and there was still this underlying despair I couldn't touch. I asked Caleb straight up if this could help with that, and he was honest. He said he didn't know. This isn't a substitute for real professional support. I used it every day for 30 days anyway. My depression didn't disappear. But underneath it, I found something that felt like hope again. Michael. I'm not telling you these stories to promise you'll get rich or that all your problems will vanish. I'm telling you because they're real, and because they show what happens when someone takes responsibility for shifting their own pattern instead of waiting for their circumstances to change first. The offer. What's actually inside the frequency shift protocol? Tap to get instant access, rightward arrow. Core frequency shift audio sessions. The heartbeat paired audio sessions themselves, 7 minutes a day, no experience or equipment required. $147. The companion guide. A step-by-step walkthrough of exactly how to use the sessions and what to expect across your first 30 days. $67. Launch Week Bonus Frequency Journal. A guided journal to help you track the shifts you're noticing in your life. $37. Launch Week Bonus Reference Guide. A reference guide that explains the science behind what you're experiencing as you go through the work. $27. $278 total value today, $47. Instant digital access. Get the frequency shift protocol, rightward arrow. Instant digital access, start tonight. Why so low? Why $47, not $297? When I first started sharing this work, I priced it at $297, a number that felt right based on the time I'd put into developing it. But I started getting messages from people who said they wanted this but couldn't afford $297. I'd made an assumption that the people who needed this most would also be the people who could most easily pay for it. That wasn't true. So I talked to my wife about it, and she asked me a question that reframed everything. What if you charge what makes it possible for someone working minimum wage to actually invest in their own transformation? It's not about the price being low. It's about the price removing the barrier. So I settled on $47. One time. No recurring charges. No subscription. No hidden fees. Regular price, $297. Today, $47. Includes the core audio sessions and the companion guide. For the next week only, while this is launching, you'll also receive both bonus resources above. Once launch week ends, those bonuses are no longer included. Yes, I want this, rightward arrow. Secure checkout, instant access. 60-day guarantee. No questions asked. Use the frequency shift protocol for 60 days. Use it the way I recommend. Give it a real, honest try. If after that you feel it isn't the right fit for you, or you simply didn't enjoy the experience, email me. I'll give you a full refund. No questions, no judgment. You keep everything, and you're welcome to share it with whoever you want. Your choice. 3 paths are in front of you right now. I. Do nothing. Close this page and hope something changes on its own, while the rest of you stays braced for scarcity. 2. Figure it out alone. Read the research, experiment on your own, build your own version from scratch. It took real time to get this right. 3. Use what already works. 7 minutes a day. No guesswork. 60 days to know for certain, backed by a full refund. Questions. A few things people keep asking. Is this a replacement for therapy or medical treatment? No. This is a frequency and nervous system tool, not a substitute for professional care. If you're already working with a therapist or doctor, this is meant to complement that relationship, not replace it. How much time does this actually take each day? 7 minutes. That's the whole practice. No special equipment, no meditation background required. What exactly am I getting? The core audio sessions and the companion guide walking you through your first 30 days, plus while this offer is live during launch week, both bonus resources. What if I've tried everything already and nothing's worked? That's exactly who this was built for, a different kind of practice, not another layer of positive thinking on top of what you've already tried. What if it's not the right fit for me? You have a full 60 days to find out. If it doesn't feel like the right fit, email for a complete, no questions refund. You keep everything either way. Is this a one-time payment? Yes. $47, one time. No subscription, no recurring billing, no hidden fees. Right now you're at a crossroads that's going to affect more than your bank account, your peace of mind, your relationships, and how present you're able to be for the people who matter to you. I spent a lot of time and money trying to think my way into a different life. Eventually I realized that changing my thoughts alone was never going to be enough for me. I needed a different approach, one that helped me slow down, relax, and build a consistent daily practice. The moment I stopped forcing myself to think differently and started building that practice instead, I began to notice real changes, not overnight, and not dramatically, but real and sustained. That's what I'm inviting you into. Not a program that promises to fix your whole life by Friday, but an actual tool you can use tonight to start shifting the frequency you've been broadcasting so your own wisdom, capability, and abundance can finally come through. My name is Caleb Hayes, and I believe you already have everything you need inside you. You don't need more information. You don't need another course. You don't need me to fix you. You need access to what's already there, underneath the pattern that's been running the show. That's what the frequency shift protocol is for. I'll see you on the inside. Caleb. Get instant access now. Rightward arrow. Last step. Get instant access now. $47 rightward arrow. 60-day money-back guarantee. Instant digital delivery. Results. Disclaimer: individual results will vary. The testimonials and examples used are exceptional results, which do not apply to the average purchaser, and are not intended to represent or guarantee that anyone will achieve the same or similar results. Each individual's success depends on his or her background, dedication, desire, motivation, and other factors not always known and sometimes beyond control. ClickBank. Disclaimer: ClickBank is the retailer of products on this site. ClickBank Registered is a registered trademark of ClickSales Incorporated, a Delaware corporation located at 1444 South Entertainment Avenue, Suite 410, Boise, Idaho, 83709 USA, and used by permission. ClickBank's role as retailer does not constitute an endorsement, approval, or review of these products or any claim, statement, or opinion used in promotion of these products. Results vary from person to person. The Frequency Shift Protocol is an educational and wellness resource and is not a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of a qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical or mental health condition. Reprogram, Restore, Rise. For product support, please contact the seller here. For order support, please contact ClickBank here. Copyright 2026, Brainwave Haven. All rights reserved. This is a digital product. Delivered instantly online.